Hello. In this video lesson, we continue on the theme of foreign direct investments, FDI, and we start by drawing a distinction between horizontal and vertical FDI, and then also I will discuss some really topical issues related to FDI. So, what do we mean by horizontal FDI? So sometimes some multinationals simply replicate their production process in foreign facilities so that to be able to serve large customer bases. If you think about multinationals like Starbucks or McDonald's, then this is what they are doing essentially. If you consider an alternative to export to a market instead of operating a foreign affiliate, then with this kind of horizontal FDI, we have there can be lower unit cost when you have this kind of foreign affiliate because then you have no trade costs. But then on the other hand, you have a fixed cost of running this foreign facility. So I mentioned this kind of like service firms that really have to come to the place. But then if you think of company like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, which has this alternative of exporting rather than producing locally, then you have this kind of trade-off between lower unit costs if you produce locally, but then you have this fixed cost of the foreign facility. And typically only firms that have a big enough scale of operation can choose this kind of horizontal FDI over exports. Now, in contrast, then vertical FDI means that you have this kind of, if you have more complicated supply chain, then firms may outsource some parts of the production process to foreign countries to take advantage of cost differences. So I mentioned this example of Ford Motor Car Corporation, but you can think of any car manufacturer which might, for example, then outsource. So some parts of the automobile could be produced in low-cost countries. So vertical FDI then allows a firm to perform some parts of the production in its foreign affiliate. Of course, an alternative mode of offshoring would be to simply buy those parts from an independent foreign supplier. So you don't, of course, necessarily have to start some foreign affiliate, but then that of course has its own risks and perhaps some kind of quality issues. So if you think about the trade-off of producing domestically versus producing in some foreign affiliate, then vertical FDI involves potentially lower production cost, but has an additional fixed cost of establishing this foreign affiliate, and then there are also higher risks. So again, only firms that operate at a large enough scale will find vertical FDI profitable. And perhaps this kind of, whether it is replicating the process like in a horizontal FDI or vertical FDI would be then interesting for companies where the production process is relatively complicated, but some parts of the process can be taken apart and outsourced. So for example, a car manufacturer can produce parts of the cars in different countries and then have just the assembly at the home market or potentially also at this export markets. So for the large companies, large corporations, of course, one motivation, like based on this slide, it might seem that this FDI is not necessarily so profitable, but of course, one important motivation for multinationals is the tax planning or outright tax evasion. So this slide, taken from an NBER report, indicates that how the share of U.S. corporations global profits reported in tax havens increased over the past few decades, and these so-called tax havens include also some European countries like here is Ireland, Switzerland, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. included, besides well-known tax havens in Caribbean. And in Asia, Singapore is one of these kind of low tax rate countries. So the multinationals have, of course, potential to report the profits and transfer the profits to those affiliates where the tax rates are lower. And many multinational corporations, not only American firms but globally, have also exploited this possibility that they report their profits in the countries where the tax rate for corporations is relatively low, if not outright zero. So this has also attracted a lot of attention by leading economists over the years. And on this slide, I have taken a copy of the poster of the interesting documentary movie named Tax Wars, where there's leading economists such as Joe Stiglitz and Thomas Piketty explain the issue, but also the initiatives that have been reaching. So according to the movie, there was up to $600 billion were lost in tax revenues every year by this kind of multinationals tax evasions. And very recently, in 2024, 136 countries reached an agreement on the minimum of 15% tax on multinationals' profits. So this is expected to generate over $200 billion in additional tax revenue. So we will see then how effective this initiative is, or do the multinationals find some other ways of avoiding taxes. But this is definitely an important issue, an important motivation for multinationals' corporate structure. So another issue that I want to still raise is the risks of foreign direct investments. And in recent years, of course, for those multinationals that had operations in Russia, these risks realized in a very costly way. So over 1,000 companies, mainly Western companies, had left Russia after Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022. And this resulted also major losses for these foreign companies. According to the Reuters news, the losses up to 107 billion US dollars. So this kind of high risks of foreign direct investments can also realize. And recently there has been also some fears for many companies of the very high concentration to China, especially in manufacturing. So in the recent decades, many firms started operations in China, but then this trend seems to be reversing, and so companies have become also more aware of this risks to the supply chain, especially if we talk about vertical FDI. And according to this Forbes news, then as there was also one part of the risk was, of course, the COVID pandemic, and then there's also political risks, and then also policy changes. So many of the firms have started to spread the risk by then also investing in different locations. So it's not necessarily that the horizontal or vertical FDI, especially vertical FDI, is necessarily decreasing, but it's perhaps spread more widely geographically. And for example, India has gained from this kind of new FDI investments, becoming an alternative to China. So we will see how this kind of risks and this also increasing threats of trade wars and political tensions will affect also foreign direct investments in the following years. So this leads us to the next theme of the course. So we will talk about protective measures such as tariffs, and the next video lesson then focuses on tariffs. See you then. Bye.